Greetings and welcome to another Pokemon 2019 or Pokemon Journeys the series anime video. In this video I want to talk about episode 115 of Pokemon Journey since a special preview for this episode aired right after episode 112. Now I already made a video on episode 115. In fact, I made said video this very week since the episode was revealed just a few days ago alongside its title, and I decided to cover the episode right away. I was not expecting that they would release a special preview for it, but I guess that I should start to expect this going forward, since this has happened several times already. An episode is revealed, I cover it right away even though there isn't much information about it, because I wanted to make sure that I cover new information as soon as possible. And then a few days later they release a special preview for the episode I covered, so I end up having to cover the episode again. I would prefer to make it just one video that has all the information, but I can't exactly wait for this to become plausible, since that means not tackling new information right away in order to wait for additional information that might never arrive. So I will just continue to cover any and all episodes that are revealed, provided that enough is known about them for me to talk about. And if I have to cover them again, then so be it. But anyways, I will still leave a link to the previous video I made on episode 115 in the description below and at the end of this video, so that you can go watch that video if you haven't already. While that video might not have much to offer now, especially when compared to this one, you can still go watch it if you wish. It does also cover episode 114, which I will not cover in this video. So that video does still have some additional value, especially since we still needed to wait for the actual preview of episode 114 to learn more about it. So yeah, let's get to the special preview now, shall we? The title of episode 115 is Opening Masters Tournament. Therefore, I figured that this episode would center on the opening ceremony for the Masters Tournament. And the special preview confirms this. As shown in the preview, the ceremony will take place, fittingly, in Wyndham Stadium. The members of the Masters 8 will be introduced as expected, and they will rise into a podium of some sort while lights shine on them. So basically they will make an entrance worthy of a rock star. They will also enter in order from lowest rank to highest rank, since Ash and Iris are already on the podium when Alon makes his entrance, while Lance and Steven are on the podium already when Cynthia makes her entrance. I can already tell that just seeing them make their entrance will be incredibly cool, especially since we will finally see Steven, Diantha, and Alon again in the flesh. Now, in my previous video on this episode, I said that I did not think that there would be battles in this episode, since the episode would just feature the opening ceremony for the tournament. And opening ceremonies for tournaments like this usually do not feature battles. Instead, they feature the introduction of the competitors, the sponsors, and the commentators. They also go over the rules, matchups, etc. But the preview reveals that this episode will also feature battles, which is not only surprising, but it is also very exciting. Better yet, all 8 members of the Master Class will battle, which is beyond amazing. I assume that these will be exhibition matches that are intended to build up the hype for the actual tournament. The preview shows a title card for each member of the Masters 8, plus their rank, before showing a brief clip of said trainer in action. So I wanted to go over these in order. First up is Ash. When entering the battlefield, they show that he has his Mega Glove, his C-Ring, and his Dynamax Band. This is just so crazy. Our boy is decked out with all the trump cards. I did say in my episode 85 review that it would be insane if Ash wears all these key items together, ready to use all of them in battle. Now, of course, he can't use all of them at once, but he can use any one of them in a given battle. And it's cool that he is prepared to use whichever one he needs to defeat the opponent at hand. Pikachu is then shown using Thunderbolt. So Ash will use Pikachu, which is not surprising, since each member of the Masters 8 will battle with their main/signature Pokemon. Next up is Iris, who is seen battling in the rain. So whoever she is battling will use a move that summons the rain, like Rain Dance or Max Geyser. Iris is then seen using her unique ability to communicate with dragons to sense what Haxorus is feeling. Next up is Alon, who Mega Evolves Charizard who is then seen using Dragon Claw while avoiding what appears to be Draco Meteor. Next up is Diantha, who is seen spinning elegantly, which definitely suits her. And she commands her Mega Gardevoir in battle. Next up is Lance, who commands his Gyarados to use Dragon Pulse. Next up is Steven, who Mega Evolves Metagross. Mega Metagross is then seen dodging Thunderbolts. I wonder who Metagross is battling here. Next up is Cynthia, who puts on Lipstick, and she commands Garchomp to use what appears to be Draco Meteor. Now it is worth noting that Cynthia's Lipstick has the same color scheme as her outfit, which is a nice touch. I did think that this was her keystone that she will use to Mega Evolve Garchomp, since in the anime, keystones tend to be embedded into items that are significant to the user. For example, Ash has his keystone on a glove, Alon has his keystone on a bracelet, Diantha has her keystone in a necklace, and Steven has his keystone on a ring. However, Cynthia's Lipstick does not seem to have a keystone. At least, it's not clear if this is the case or not. So I guess that the Lipstick and Cynthia's use of it during the battle are just for style points. If this is the case, then mission accomplished. They made Cynthia even more charming and badass. Now if Cynthia really does not have a keystone, then she and Iris are the only members of the Masters 8 that do not have an ultimate technique/transformation. Steven, Diantha, and Alon all have Mega Evolution. Leon has Gigantamax, Lance has Dynamax, and Ash has Gigantamax, Mega Evolution, and the C moves. This does put Cynthia and Iris at a disadvantage, but it does make sense that they don't have any of the ultimate techniques/transformations, since these did not exist in generations 4 and 5, where Cynthia and Iris are from. These two generations are from a time before Pokemon started to introduce an ultimate technique/transformation in each generation. With the exception of Lance, every member of the Masters 8 has a valid reason to have their ultimate technique/transformation. Diantha and Alon are from Generation 6/Kalos, which introduced Mega Evolution. Steven had his generation of games remade during Generation 6, which is why the remakes had Mega Evolution. And thus, Steven got Mega Evolution. Leon is from Generation 8/Galar, which introduced Dynamax/Gigantamax, and Ash is the protagonist. He has also traveled to every region/generation. Of course, Cynthia had her generation of games remade during Generation 8, but the remakes did not get Dynamax/Gigantamax. If they had, I am sure that Cynthia would have been given Gigantamax Garchomp. Iris, on the other hand, has not had her generation of games remade yet, but that will surely come eventually. As for Lance, well, based on the games, he should not have an ultimate technique/transformation either, but he got the Dynamax so that he could battle Leon evenly in episode 12 of Pokemon Journeys. Now supposedly, Cynthia will indeed Mega Evolve Garchomp, but I personally have not seen any evidence of this. Of course, I do hope that this is true, though it would also be cool that Cynthia is rank 2 and able to compete with the others in the Masters 8 without an ultimate technique/transformation of her own. Also, if Cynthia does get Mega Evolution, then it is only fair if Iris gets an ultimate technique/transformation as well. But moving on, we have of course Leon. He is seen removing his cape, so you know that he is serious. His Charizard is then seen using Air Slash. After the Masters 8 are all introduced and shown in battle, the preview does show some additional scenes that I wanted to discuss. First, we see Go in the audience, and next to him is none other than Hop, who will finally make an appearance in the anime. He has a Wooloo with him, and he is of course cheering for Leon. I guess that they decided against making Hop a rival to Ash, and someone that is participating in the World Coronation series. Instead, they decided to have Hop be a normal trainer whose big brother just happens to be the strongest trainer in the world. I do feel that perhaps this is a misuse of Hop, because it would have been interesting to see him interact with and battle Ash, since Ash is striving to defeat Leon. But maybe this is Hop after the main story of Sword and Shield, meaning that he is striving to become a Pokemon professor, so he is not into battles as much. In any case, it will be nice to finally see Hop in the anime. Next, Leon, Cynthia, Steven, Diantha, and Alon are all seen together on the podium, which is very cool. Next, a Draco Meteor is seen raining on the battlefield from the perspective of the announcer. Judging by what is shown earlier in the preview, this Draco Meteor was likely fired by Cynthia's Garchomp. Next, Ash's mom, Professor Oak, and the Tracy are seen watching the ceremony alongside Ash's Charizard, Infernape, Crocodile, and the Pignite. It is of course very nice to see Ash's mom, Professor Oak, and the Tracy again, especially since they are supporting Ash. And it is very cool to see Charizard, Infernape, Crocodile, and the Pignite again. It's great that they are supporting Ash as well, but I hope that they get the chance to support Ash more directly, by actually helping in battle. Charizard especially has to be like, look at those two Charizard that are battling. I could be there too. Next, Ash is seen Gigantamaxing a Pokemon, likely Gengar, but it could be Pikachu as well. Next, Mega Gardevoir is seen using a very literal Moonblast to attack a Dragonite. And finally, a Gigantamax Rillaboom is seen, which very likely belongs to Leon, who can have a Rillaboom in the games, though he does not Gigantamax it since this is reserved for Charizard. So that's the preview, but before I end the video, I do want to talk about the matchups for the exhibition matches since the preview does not actually reveal them, but it does provide just enough information to make some educated guesses. First, it is worth noting what side of the battlefield everyone is on. Ash, Alon, and Diantha are on the right side, while Iris, Lance, Steven, and Leon are on the left side. Cynthia is shown centered, so she could be on either side, but I assume that she is on the right side since that side has only 3 trainers, and there needs to be an even distribution. Opponents facing each other will of course be on opposite sides of the battlefield. So Ash, Alon, Diantha, and Cynthia will face Iris, Lance, Steven, and Leon. Not in this order, mind you, these are just the 2 sides of the conflict. Now this does narrow it down, but we still don't have the exact matchups. But there is more evidence that can narrow it down further. Like I stated earlier, Mega Metagross is seen dodging Thunderbolts, which likely means that Ash will face Steven. This is supported by the fact that Ash is on the right side, while Steven is on the left side. So we have our first confirmed matchup, Ash versus Steven, which is of course very exciting. Now moving on, things do get complicated, since Mega Gardevoir is seen using Moonblast on a Dragonite. Notice that I said a Dragonite. You might immediately assume that this is Ash's Dragonite, but remember that Lance and Iris have a Dragonite as well, so this could be Lance's or Iris's Dragonite as well. Now since Ash is seen using Pikachu and he will likely battle Steven given what I discussed earlier, this Dragonite should belong to Lance or Iris. Especially since this Dragonite is on the left side, like Lance and Iris are, while Ash is on the right side. Therefore, I think that it's safe to say that Lance or Iris will face Diantha. Moving on, Mega Charizard X is seen dodging what appears to be Draco Meteor, and Cynthia's Garchomp is seen using what appears to be Draco Meteor. So I thought, okay, Cynthia will face Alon, right? But wait, they are on the same side of the battlefield, so they can't be battling each other. But Cynthia is centered, so she could be on either side. Thus, she could be on the left side. Though this does disrupt the balance since we have 5 trainers on one side and 3 on the other side. But assuming that Cynthia versus Alon is correct, then that means that Leon will battle Iris or Lance, depending on which of the 2 faces Diantha. But Iris, Lance, and Leon are all on the same side, so this does not make sense either. There is also the fact that Iris is seen battling under the rain. Leon cannot summon rain with Charizard or with Rillaboom, assuming again that this is his Rillaboom. Diantha cannot summon rain either with Gardevoir, but Lance can summon rain. In fact, when I saw Iris in the rain, my first thought was, she is facing Lance, who used Max Geyser with Dynamax Gyarados. But Lance is also on the same side as Iris, and he might be the one facing Diantha. I also thought that maybe Iris's Haxorus is the one who uses the Draco Meteor that Alon's Charizard avoids. Alon versus Iris does make sense since they are on opposite sides of the battlefield. But it does not make sense because Alon cannot summon rain with Charizard either. So aside from Ash vs. Steven, I am not sure of the rest of the matchups. However, there is evidence to suggest that either the battles will allow the use of more than one Pokemon, or each trainer will battle more than one opponent. Said evidence is the following. First, Lance is seen using Gyarados, Ash is seen using Pikachu, and Iris is seen using Haxorus. But a Dragonite is seen in action, so one of them will use their Dragonite as well. And it's impossible to tell whose Dragonite this is. I looked at this Dragonite's expression in an attempt to determine which Dragonite this is. This Dragonite has a very serious expression, so I thought this is Iris's Dragonite. But then I thought, wait, even Ash's extremely gentle Dragonite will have a very serious expression when battling. So a serious expression is not enough to determine which Dragonite this is. But regardless of the answer to this Dragonite conundrum, the fact is that Ash, Iris, or Lance will use more than one Pokemon. Second, Leon is seen using Charizard, but then we also see a Rillaboom that is barely likely his, so Leon will also use more than one Pokemon. Third and the final bit of evidence is that Ash is seen Gigantamaxing a Pokemon, which is likely Gengar. Now he could be Gigantamaxing Pikachu of course, but he has not done this since episode 13 of Pokemon Journeys. Instead, Pikachu has used his exclusive C move as his trump card, while Gengar is the one that Ash has Gigantamaxed multiple times. Gigantamax is Gengar's trump card, so maybe Ash will use Gengar as well. So it seems like the battles will allow the use of more than one Pokemon, or the battles will be one-on-one but each trainer will battle more than one opponent. The latter seems more likely, since exhibition matches are meant to be quick. I don't see them doing 2-on-2 battles, especially not with 8 trainers, and especially not in one episode. Therefore, I believe that there will be several one-on-one battles, one after the other, and each trainer will get to face more than one opponent. We likely will not get to see full battles either, as in we will probably see several quick battles in succession, since again, it's just one episode. They cannot fit in so many battles unless they are short, or the episode is longer than normal, which is possible but unlikely. If each trainer gets to battle more than one opponent, then they can switch sides from one battle to the other. Thus, what side everyone is on is not set in stone, and thus, it does not limit who can battle who. Therefore, going by all the evidence, Ash will face Steven, Iris will face Lance, Cynthia will face Alon, Lance, Iris, or Ash will face Diantha, and since Ash Gigantamaxes a Pokemon and we see a Gigantamax Rillaboom that likely belongs to Leon, perhaps Leon will face Ash as well. There can of course be more matchups, but these are the ones that can be determined from the special preview. These are all amazing matchups of course, though honestly, there can be no bad matchups in the Masters 8. With such amazing trainers here, any way you match them, we are in for a treat. In any case, these exhibition matches are a great way to give us matches that we might not get in the actual tournament, thus allowing everyone to battle everyone else, or at least almost everyone else. Hopefully we do get to see a good amount of each battle, and hopefully we get to see every single one of the main battles from the actual tournament. As for who will win these battles, well, they are exhibition matches, so who wins or loses has no bearing on the tournament itself, though each member of the Masters 8 will be able to see how they stack against the others. This might lead to them wanting to get even stronger. Ash especially might be motivated to train more, or to call for backup, aka his old Pokemon. I do want to point out as well that this is supposed to be a special preview for episode 115, but I wonder if instead this is intended to be a special preview for the Masters Tournament as a whole. This would explain why there are so many possible matchups in the preview and why there are so many battles period. Too many battles to fit in just one normal episode. Also, special previews tended to show moments from past episodes that are relevant to what the special preview shows. This special preview is not the exception. It does show moments from episode 109, so maybe Ash Gigantamaxing a Pokemon is from a previous episode, and thus it might not be relevant to episode 115. But that's everything I have for you in this video. Episode 115 will surely be one amazing episode, and I absolutely cannot wait to watch it when it airs on June 17. I will of course upload a video review for this episode as soon as possible after it has aired, so please look forward to this. Now the actual preview for this episode will be out in about 2 weeks, and I might cover it in a preview discussion, but only if the preview reveals enough information to warrant a discussion, since I have already covered this episode plenty. Do let me know in the comments down below what matchups you wanted to see the most, and your thoughts on this special preview and the Masters Tournament as a whole. But that's the video, as always. Leave your own thoughts down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and would like to see more like it, then please consider subscribing to my channel. I love Pokemon and I love making videos on both the anime and the games. Also, please consider clicking the links on screen so that you can check out more videos like this right away. Thank you very much for watching, and let's meet again in the next video.